when I do get to play, I enjoy it so much more. I never didn't enjoy the game, but now it's like I don't take it for granted. I don't try to fly through the round to get home quick. I really enjoy my time out there and like the opportunity that I have to be playing because I know not everybody ever has that opportunity. So just enjoy it while you're out there, regardless of whether you're playing your local muni or you're playing a Sage Valley or you're playing in a tournament. Just enjoy the game of golf. That's as cliche as it gets, but that's just the truth.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Whole Story Podcast. Jonathan, how you doing today, man? Rocking that Karn shirt
Yeah, I
or
was,
quarter
it's
zip or whatever that thing is. That thing looks good.
it's not quite cold outside, but it's not warm. As I was getting ready, my wife, she mentioned she didn't have her contacts in, her glasses on. She's like, "Ooh, you look really dressed up." And I'm like, for those behind the scenes, I'm just wearing some sweatpants, but I do have a nice little top on. So I
Nobody
was
is
like,
behind the scenes.
I'm not dressed up. I'm just, Zoom call and above type thing. So, yeah, another good day. I got a chance to meet someone that you'd already had been acquainted with and got to interview because you
Yeah.
always get to go to all the fun interviews at golf courses. Colin with Golf Pro Payments. And if you're a nerd like me when it comes to technology and behind the scenes at a golf world, I think you're going to enjoy it.
Yeah, no, Colin was great. His business partner and founder, Andrew, was not able to make the call, but yeah, we had a great chat with Colin. Colin was the former pro at Coyote Golf Club over in Sumter. And yes, we did an episode with him back when he was the head pro there and got to look around and play Coyote back in the day. But yeah, he's doing something new, and I really appreciate his reasons, right? It's family.
Yeah.
It allowed him, for those that know the golf pro side of the world, you're busy all the time. It's early mornings, it's late nights, it's, especially in private club settings, it's serving the members all the time because service is what it's all about. And with the role he is in now, he gets a lot more time with family. So you can never blame somebody for that. And so he's getting to travel a little bit and see different great places. He says not playing as much as he used to, but yeah, great chat with Colin today. What'd you learn? What was one takeaway that people are about to hear?
Well, I think the biggest part is if you really love your golf course, and you really think about it, again, he'll tell you payments, processing, and all this stuff is not sexy. There's nothing about it where you go, oh my gosh. But if you've ever stood on a tee box and thought, man, I wish this could be a little bit better, or you've looked at a curb or something, there's money to be found in little places and spaces like payment processing. I mean, he mentioned one course that was like an $80,000 savings, and because of just ignorance in the best term, right? Just a lack of understanding of how the payment processing side works. They found that $80,000, which can be poured back into the course that you love to be. And again, the one consistent thing besides lost golf balls and fun with your friends is that you're going to have to pay for a round of golf. There's going to be a payment involved. And so to really think about how, like, you want to talk about grassroots level, what a payment processor is for a golf course, it's literally the lifeline to connect the members to the ability to keep the whole thing up and running. So, I mean, again, I'm a technology nerd when it comes to that side of things. So if you're listening to this and going, well, my golf course might need them, let them know. They're guys that have been behind the counter, that love the game, and honestly just want to make sure that they're providing the best service they can for the places that we love to go play. So couldn't recommend it more.
Yeah, I love the fact that it is guys that were PGA professionals and still
Right.
are. So
Still are.
yeah, they know it. They know what golf courses are going through, and they can speak to that very well. So yeah, great chat with Colin again. It's become a friend. Looking forward to the next time we can tee it up because he is here in South Carolina.
Yep.
Even though he went to Clemson, he will still be friends. So I've got a lot of friends that are Clemson folks. But no, great guy, great chat. and I think y'all will enjoy it. Many thanks, as always, to our friends at Summit Golf, Be Dratty, Zero Restriction, Fairway and Green. Jonathan, I mentioned you're rocking that Karn quarter zip there that you got there from Be Dratty, but you got it over at Karn when we were
I
there
did.
last year. I'm rocking, the Be Dratty golf shirt with the Zero Restriction TKO hoodie that I wear all the time. I
All the
love
time.
it. I love it. So yeah, check out any of their websites and use BestBall20 and you can get 20% off your order. So yeah, it's a great chat. Again, we try to remind him that even though the topic might not be the sexiest in the golf world, it's the people behind stuff, right? They're good people doing good things to help golf courses, which in turn help us as golfers enjoy our day more, and the service they provide is great. So we love it, and we think you guys are going to like it as well. So here's Colin with Golf Pro Payments. Y'all enjoy. Well, joining us on today's podcast, another return guest, Jonathan. I don't know if we've had too many of these things, but a return guest, Colin Grant. Colin was the head professional at Coyote Golf Club. We had interviewed him back on site there, or I did. Jonathan was not able to make that one, but now Colin is with Golf Pro Payments. Colin, welcome back.
Hey, I appreciate you guys having me. Jonathan, it's a pleasure to finally get to sit down with you in a virtual manner this time. Robbie, I'm glad I didn't bore you to tears so much the last time that you were willing to have me back.
Not at all, man. No, like we talk about all the time. We love the relationships that we make through this game and through especially what we get to do through Best Ball and this podcast and the other ones that we do. And so, meeting you and becoming friends and hopefully getting to play some golf again soon. I know we got to play a little bit that day after we recorded, but we'd love to tee it up again with you sometime soon. So, but yeah, like we said, you've made a career change, and I guess before we get into that, remind the audience, if they did not listen to this other episode, kind of your history in golf. I know you grew up playing, went to Clemson for the PGA management program, but I'll let you share your own story there.
Yeah, absolutely. So, grew up playing the game of golf, fell in love with it. Didn't know again that it could be a profession, which shows how much attention I was paying when I was at the golf course, that obviously people had to be working there, so it could be. Got into it, went to Clemson, just like you said. It's where I met some of my best friends. In fact, some of who I'm working with now are also fellow Tigers that I was at school with then. But from there,
That's
went.
enough of the Clemson talk for this episode.
All right, yeah, got it done. No more Tigers.
USC.
Yeah.
Hey, it was a fun football season for us both. That's for sure. Um, but from there, went back to Atlanta. Was at St. Ives Country Club for just over a year before heading into the Carolinas, and I've been here ever since. Was at Orangeburg Country Club for a short stint before I got a great phone call and had the opportunity to go over to be at Sage Valley. Was at Sage Valley for the better part of 6 years. Absolutely love that spot. How can you not? And then from there, the connections I made there led to my time at Coyote. One of the owners of Coyote is a member at Sage Valley. The old superintendent, Chuck Green, had gone over there and helped kind of raise Coyote to what it is now. And so they brought me on board, enjoyed the opportunity to become a head professional and see it from that side. But then this opportunity came knocking to stay in an industry that I love, but get to do something different, obviously less on the green grass side and more attention to the sales side of it, if you would.
Nice. I know Jonathan wants to say something about Sage Valley, but let me back up to the St. Ives. And I don't know if I made this comment before when we talked about this. So Best Ball started, I got the LLC back in 2012, started as a scorekeeping app. Like I created with some guys an app for doing live scoring. And I went and we did a tournament and did the live scoring at at St. Ives Country Club for some kind of association there in Atlanta. And yeah, that was one of the first big tournaments that we did. And obviously now we don't do the live scoring through an app anymore. But yeah,
I love that.
that was a long time ago. That was probably 2012, 2013 that we were there doing that.
That's
And
a small world.
it is a small world. And it was one of those where definitely was just sitting there helping with the scoring, did not end up getting to play it, which was sad. But Anyway, well, I know Jonathan wants to make a comment because he
Well,
recently got to play Sage Valley for the first time.
I
And
did, and I'm
what?
just now that I'm just trying to wonder, like, all right, so you went from St. Ives to Orangeburg Country Club to Sage and then Quixote, and then you thought, you know what I want to do? Payment processing. I mean,
Mhm.
you just listed 4 amazing courses, facilities. So what was it that drew your attention or caught your eye to say, I'm going to leave this amazing, beautiful place that I get to go to every day and instead jump on Zoom calls and try to convince golf courses that they should use us?
Yeah, no, that is a really good point, and the look that I've gotten from some people asking the exact same question, they're like, "Wait, you were where and now you're doing what?" And it's a good question. So, really what it boiled down to, and I think, let's see, what's the best way to put this? Is, there comes a point in everybody's life in every industry where they got to figure out what matters the most, what is going to define them as a person. And, without getting too cliche or too deep on it, really for me, it was the family side of things, having a wife and 2 kids. Golf is a very demanding industry in the sense that, you can work your tail off in the busy season, but then even sometimes when it's slow, there's times that you got to be there, and that's weekends, that's holidays. At Sage Valley, when the par three first opened up, that was at night. We were working the night shift there too. And it just, it can really wear on some people. I loved being a golf pro. I do think all my time in the industry, I really learned a lot about myself, and I learned what it kind of means to be a golf pro, but to serve at that next level, to take it to that world class point. Um, and just, like I said, it wasn't that I got burnt out, but when I again found out I had an opportunity to stay in an industry that I love, being the golf industry, but work a normal Monday through Friday. I'm not working holidays. I'm not working weekends or nights. Obviously there's still there's some travel involved, things like the PGA show and whatnot. But just the time that I've gotten back with my family, with my little girls, has just been, the really the next level, like the big difference maker for me. And that's really what it boiled down to.
Yeah, how did that first, Black Friday feel whenever you didn't have to go to the course and you were able
Oh
just
my
to, like
gosh. It was
right.
it was amazing. I think it was it was October of or November of 24 is when I came on board. So it was like that week of Thanksgiving, the team's just like, "Hey, if knock out what you need to on Monday and then we'll all get together again next week." And I was like, "Well, who's going to cover the calls tomorrow or the next day?" Or I mean, okay, maybe not Thanksgiving. What about the day after that? And everyone's like, "We don't do that." And so
Yep.
it's just like wrapping my mind around that. And even my wife was just like, I don't know if I like having you around this much. But hey, we'll take it a day at a time. But it's been great, man. My kids love
Yeah,
it. Getting to see them a lot more has been such a blessing.
yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
give us give us the history, and yeah, I know Jonathan's probably about to say like doing it for the family. That's definitely the right reasons, but give us the history of golf pro payments. Like, where did that start? I know you said it was some buddies from college that helped start this thing. So give us the backstory.
Yeah, absolutely. So my one of my best friends from Clemson, no more Clemson talk, just happens to be that's where we went to school. He Andrew Reeves is his name. He's the president and the founder of Golf Pro Payments. He married into a wonderful family. Absolutely love Allison and her family. And his father-in-law, Matt, had been doing the same thing for years in a different industry, more so the power sports industry and a couple others here and there. And one day Andrew was talking about the same thing I was just talking about. He's like, "Hey, there's going to come a day when I've got kids of my own. There's things going on, and being a golf pro, at the time he was at Reynolds Lake Oconee, what like fantastic spot. Um, but he was just like, I just don't know that I want to forever work holidays, weekends, nights. Like, I want to make a difference because I also see that there is something missing in this industry." And Matt, his father-in-law, having done the payment side of things for so long, was like, "Well, let's dive in. Let's take a look and see what this would look like if you were to apply it to the golf industry." And thus, Golf Pro Payments was born. Andrew started to kind of dabble in it a little bit here and there, and things just really lined up, and he was able to go full time with it back in late 2018. And it was, born from that point where he was like, the payment space in the golf industry is missing. Obviously clubs can take credit cards now, but what if we introduce something different? What if we took our sole focus to the golf industry, right? Where other processors out there may focus on anything and everything, pizza parlors, gas stations, you name it. Golf Pro Payments is only going to focus on the golf course and the clubs around them to help them maximize what they're doing. And so Golf Pro Payments came about. And since then, he's done a great job putting together a team. I don't say that just because I'm on it. I think it was a great team before I came on board. But he's just done a good job of recruiting the right guys that maybe had hit that burnt out spot, or maybe we're just looking to do something different and make a difference in the industry. And so we are where we're at today, servicing over 850 facilities across the country. It has certainly grown a lot in the 7.5, 8 years that the team's been doing this.
Well, it sounds like you guys are the ultimate ringer team if you get into some sort of charity golf event. Because do you know anybody that's bad at golf?
Um, See, I played a couple holes with
Right.
Robbie. No, I'm just playing.
Right.
Um,
I
no,
chipped
it's
in for
funny.
Eagle when we played. Thank you very much.
Absolutely, you did. That was a beautiful shot. No, it's funny. We play less golf now,
Sure.
obviously, than when we were at the course. It's a lot easier to sneak out for 9 after work and than it is now. But we definitely try to play together whenever we can. The company, we host a fundraiser event every year that goes towards a foundation that's there in Georgia, and always have a good time playing in that. We took a company trip back in December and took our wives. So while they were at the spa, all of us got to sneak away and play some golf. So, we play when we can. We have a good time. It's funny, even before we were all working together, we all played together in the Georgia section, PGA, the Pro down at Sea Island. And never did very well, but we had a lot of fun.
So I do have a question though when it comes to the processing side, aside from the fact that everyone that's a part of the company is probably a scratch golfer. Um, what makes, because I've been involved in some payment processing decisions and using companies and that kind of stuff. What is it about the golf world that makes it different or needs to have a different type of service than your pizza place or your gym or your fill in the blank? Like, why is it that Golf Pro Payments even exists to support, like what you said, everybody else that's sort of taking care of every mom and pop shop down the road?
hmm Absolutely. So, we could certainly help anybody. We could help little Susie's
Sure.
lemonade stand if she's taking credit cards. Again, with our focus being in golf, this team that Andrew has put together stems from a really, really deep background in where we worked. I mean, you guys, you heard the list of the courses that I worked at. Obviously, Sage Valley was the one that really propelled me into that like understanding of what world-class service is, where Andrew himself was at like Philly Cricket Club, Reynolds Lake Oconee, some good spots. Mike was at Ocean Forest and Oakmont and Seminole. I mean, some of the, we've worked at some really, really good clubs across the country. And I think we all have this really deep understanding of what it takes to be the best in what you're giving and what you're providing. And more than the savings of credit card processing, right? Which is sometimes where you think you would really want to sell people, hey, we can help your club save money. While that's all nice and good, we oftentimes hear people's frustrations are the service. I can't get anybody on the phone. I'm dealing with a 1-800 number. I'm dealing with a chat bot. And that's where we really pride ourselves and separate ourselves, is that the service we're providing is the same thing that a member would expect at at the club that they're a member at. So if you are on board with us, you're going to deal with Colin directly, or you're going to deal with Mike or Wes or Andrew directly, so that we can help you to the best of our ability. No 1-800 numbers or anything like that. It's so that you actually feel a personal connection with the person you're dealing with. Because, like you said, you've dealt with it some. Credit card processing is not glitzy. It's not, glamorous. Nobody enjoys it. There's nobody that's like, yay, credit card processing. Um, but if you can separate yourself from the rest of the pack and provide them with a strong relationship, not only is that gonna like hopefully keep them on board long term, to continue to develop that relationship, but lead to referrals and lead to other opportunities. I can't tell you how many of these courses that we work with that say, we really appreciate what you guys have done for us. Why don't you bring the team and play golf for a day? We'd love to have you guys. That obviously leads to some really cool spots because again, we process for multiple top 100 courses across the country. So that's really where we separate ourselves is the service. That's where Golf Pro Payments is different in, I'd say, the most sense.
And as you just mentioned, the 5 places that you've worked, by making that relationship and understanding exactly what the golf pro is looking for or what's going on, behind the counter, then they say, "Hey, go talk to the 3 other places. I'll give you their like cell phone numbers." So it makes it a little bit easier to have those introductions.
Absolutely. It makes it a lot easier. And then, as soon as somebody moves on from one club to another, now you've got that connection there as well. So I
Yeah,
mean, I think in the last 6 months alone, we've probably had ten or 15 guys that have called us and been like, "Hey, finally got my first head pro job. We were using you at XYZ. We'd love to, see what we could do to help out here." And that obviously helps us out. And as soon as they can go to their GM or their controller and say, "Hey, these guys are the best in the business. They pay the most attention and take the best care of us." The club's on board and wants to take a look at it, and that new pro looks like a superhero right off the rip.
nice.
Well, you mentioned the service side of things that you learned from the incredible courses, and kind of like Jonathan was just saying, like, do you think the fact that each of you guys not only learned the service piece of that, but you were buyers of these type services before? Because, and talking with so many golf pros, we learned that it's not just lessons and selling golf balls and checking people in. There's so much other stuff, probably like answering calls from somebody cold calling about, hey, how's your credit card processing? So, do you feel like your experience, like Jonathan said, behind the counter or as professionals in the golf space working at these courses has helped you in how you call and sell or consult with these courses that you're trying to offer your services to?
Oh, I think for sure. Being able to have those conversations, oftentimes our process is that we're going to call the golf shop first to learn a little bit about who they're using for a point of sale provider, or does the pro own the shop, because sometimes that's still the case. And we can certainly help the shop owners individually, but try to help the club as a whole. But it helps because we can have those conversations and we can relate to them. Hey, have you ever run into your credit card terminal going down in the middle of member guest while everyone's trying to spend their gift certificates, and now you're out X thousands of dollars because people can't spend and they're trying to get on the road? Oh man, I can't tell you how many times that happens to us. Okay, great. Let me tell you about a service that has a 99.99% uptime. And if it's not the pro's decision, which oftentimes it's not, they can lead us to who it is, right? Whether it's somebody in the back offices, GM, a controller, a director of finance. But oftentimes the golf pro is going to have some pretty good sway. And so developing that first impression relationship with them is absolutely huge. And it comes so much from us being able to relate to them and just the back and forth conversation. Hey pro, how are things at the club? You guys gearing up for a good spring season? What are things looking like? How was last year? Versus someone who's just cold calling, be like, "Hello, my name is fill in the blank. Do you have credit card terminal machines?" It kind of goes from there. That's where we can also separate ourselves. So definitely it helps being that we came from the other side of the counter.
No, the answer is we're all cash. We don't do credit cards. We don't believe in computers here at our golf
You
course.
It's
well,
all
you
on the
would be
members tab. Don't
shocked.
worry about it.
That's
You
right.
would be shocked how many clubs that we still talk to that are like, "Man, we have never taken credit cards."
I
Wow. So,
wouldn't.
how's your tee sheet? We write it down on a clipboard every day. It's
Right.
amazing how many people are still pencil and paper. But sometimes that's just the old school feel that a lot of people really enjoy.
So,
That's
what are the different features? I know you can take payments, things like that, but I noticed on the site there's things like event and tournament processing and stuff like that. So,
Mhm.
are there different kind of nuances within the payment structure that you guys provide these courses?
Yeah, absolutely. So, first and foremost, yes, we are a credit card processing company. So, there's only so much leeway that we have in terms of what can be charged, what is being charged to people. But different uh, little niches inside of the golf industry, they all take payments in different ways. If you're in a pro shop, oftentimes somebody's going to either be handing their card to you and you're going to be tapping it, or they're using Apple Pay on their phone and, just tapping it to the machine. If it's something like a tournament software, that maybe a section of the PGA uses, more often than not, those cards are going to be not present. So that card's going to run at a different rate. So what we try to do is provide people the best service for what suits them, whether and how they're taking the payments. So, of the all the PGA sections out there, we're partnered with 14 of them across the country: Georgia section, Carolinas, Sun Country, Southern Cal, Northern Cal. Like there's just a lot that we partner with. And typically we're helping them with just their tournament software in terms of collecting the payments and helping keep their rates down to, obviously maximize their profit to give back to their section. But then there's other pieces of it as well, like, your teaching pros, the guys who have their academies and maybe they're just using the range at a club nearby, so they can't technically run things through the shop there. So we provide them with a mobile terminal that they can have right there with them in their backpack or wherever and take the payments right there on the lesson tee. Um, and then, our newest product, and this has been really, really fun. It's our newest product, but it's been in development for a long time, is our point of sale system, Azalea. I tend to handle more of the payment side of it. Azalea has really started to take off, so that'll be something new, that, down the road, we're excited to just see how that, no pun intended, how that blossoms into something. Um, it's been really exciting. There's a lot that we do, but we handle every aspect: section partners, tournament softwares, pro shops, shop owners, teaching pros. We handle every piece of it.
Quite a name. It'll probably look really good in come April, you think?
Yeah, one would think so. There was some research done on the back end to make sure there was no trademarks or anything next to that, so that nobody would come screaming at us.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
once
very
you
nice.
land that account, then it doesn't really matter, right?
Oh, wouldn't that be something? But we thought about it, and feel like that account. Like, I wonder how many credit cards they're really running now. If the big tournament came calling and was like, "Hey, you want to help us out?" That's all hands on deck. We
Yeah.
handle a couple of tournaments here and there, but that would certainly be one.
Well, if you could get that, I'd take that account for free just so you can get the referrals for the companies that everyone
Oh,
else owns.
absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. So what does day to day look like for you
Yeah, day to day. Again,
besides
we're
doing podcasts, of course?
well, I wouldn't say that's day to day. It's kind of like a every other week thing at this point.
Yeah.
I would say day to day is really just trying to zero in on the timing of our industry. Right now is a really good time for most of the U.S. and all their sections to be calling through them and trying to help them out because it's cold. They're buried in snow. So they've got time to sit down and look at it. Again, nobody wants to because it's not the newest, most fun thing in the whole world. But now's a good time to do it. So day to day is just really trying to zero in on places that we haven't touched, whether it's a certain section, a certain demographic, whether we're going to focus on a private course sector or we're going to focus on the public courses at the time. And then giving them some calls, trying to make connections with people, just learn a little bit more about their operation. It's a little bit of cold calling, but it really is more just relationship building. So it's just trying to learn more about their club. Okay, great. Sounds like you guys have a really good operation. If we can ever help, fantastic. Not always trying to get them on the phone for a sales pitch. That's what we try to avoid. We'd rather tell them our story if they're interested than to try to sell them on something quickly. And then also just maintaining the relationships that we have now. We get people all the time like, "Hey, I think I paid a little more in 25 than I did in 24. Can you take a look at that? Because I thought I was really gonna, you know, just be saving money." And then you do the research and you're like, "Well, yeah, you did 1.6 million more dollars in volume. So funny enough, your fees are going to go up a little bit, but ultimately you saved in the long run." So, it's just maintaining that on a day to day and just making sure we're communicating with each other to make sure we're not all calling the same tracks.
Are you saying that golf pros aren't necessarily mathematicians?
If it let's see, we go up to par fives,
I was right.
triple bogey max, that if as long as it's not above like at 8, then yeah. outside of that, yeah, golf pros aren't mathematicians.
And they can write really good numbers.
Ooh, calligraphy. I do miss getting to do calligraphy. I did enjoy that.
Yeah. So all you guys keep up your PGA status or whatever that, not even using the right term. You're still a PGA professional, correct?
Yeah, that's right. So, one thing that again was important to Andrew when he started this adventure was, hey, if I'm gonna bring together a team of guys who've been in the industry, while you know, it- being a member of the PGA is something that not everybody like hangs their hat on, but I know like I'm really proud to be a member of the PGA of America. And so Andrew went to the PGA and said, obviously this is the market that I'm focusing on. What do I need to do to register with you guys? And very quickly got on board as a recognized, seller inside of the PGA network so that anyone he brought on board could maintain that status. Since then, this was really cool. We launched this in 25. We've partnered with the PGA and we offer golf retirement plus benefits. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with the GRP program, but it's a program that the PGA put in place that certain vendors, um, Titleist, Callaway, Adidas, all these, bigger ones, and then some smaller ones, like including us. If you do business with them, you get money put towards a retirement fund that the PGA puts together for you through GRP. And Andrew wanted to quickly become a part of that as well, so that we could help entice the shop owner, the pro at the club to speak on our behalf, because there's no other processor out there that's offering golf retirement plus benefits. So us being able to do that is something else that like sets us aside and kind of solidifies our partnership with the PGA, which obviously allows us to maintain our membership as well. Because again, it's something that I'm proud of and we all worked towards. So if we can hang on to it, we might as well.
Man,
That's
maybe we
awesome.
could become golf pros. It sounds like we just have to fill out a form. Do you have to be good at
Yeah.
golf too, or
Yeah.
Well,
For like for
just for
like one day.
36 holes, the
36 holes,
PAT.
yeah.
Yeah, you got to
oh
pass the
shoot,
PAT and then it's some bookwork. You're fine. And
no
I guess
way
they
in the
changed
world
the
I'm making
format now.
36 holes.
You can take like your best score from one try and your best score from the next try and combine them. So,
It would
could hit that passing score.
What if over a
what
year you just count your best score on each hole?
right?
I like it.
What does passing score mean?
Passing score. Let's see. I took it at the Walker course at a university in South Carolina. That's not South Carolina.
And it's not the
Uh,
Furman course.
correct. I think
I've never played the Walker course. That's one I do want to play.
it's a fun one. Go give it a try.
I've heard.
Try not to throw up on the 17th when you see the Tiger Paw green. I think it was 156 was the target score.
Per round?
154 somewhere in there. Uh,
Per 18, yeah.
some guys would have really enjoyed that. Everyone would have passed that day, I think. I hope. But I think that was the target score was like 156.
Yeah, there are like
Uh,
a couple, what, 78s, I think I've heard, or something like
Yeah,
that. You gotta.
278s, and it kind of
listen,
depends on the slope and rating of the course.
Yeah.
we should absolutely figure out how to try it out for our course corrections.
Give it. Hey,
Go
listen.
give it a try.
Some people don't know this, but
Would that be great?
being a big proponent of the PGA, and it's something that I really enjoy is, uh, we get to go to the Masters every year. Can't take anyone with us, but we get to
Uh,
go every single year. And now that I'm on this side of it, I get to enjoy Saturday and Sunday at the Masters and not just watch it on TV while other people play and go. So that was really fun last year. Spent many hours at the Holy Ground.
Maybe that's the next challenge, Jonathan. One of us has to get our PGA membership.
Come on,
all
guys.
I gotta do,
You could do it.
if all I gotta do is shoot a 78, I'm only 20 strokes away. Let's do it.
You got this.
The course correction series, you're gonna have to ramp up some efforts there.
I might have to.
Oh man, Colin. Let's go back to you now. I mean, I think you mentioned Azalea and what
hmm
the kind of the newest thing. I guess before you, is there anything like in the pipeline, like dream product feature that you're hoping will come out maybe this year?
I would say honestly, it's getting Azalea off the ground first.
Okay.
Like I said, it's been in the works for a long time. It's a system that was developed by golf professionals for the golf club and for golf professionals. I don't say designed by as in we did the coding. Again, not we went to school for golf. But the team, Andrew worked really hard in putting this together and making sure that it has what it needs. So I would say this year's focus is solely going to be getting Azalea off the ground, getting more clubs on board just for processing, so that ultimately, when they're like, "Hey, man, we're looking for something new. Let me introduce you to Azalea. Let me show you what it's all about, where it differs from everybody else out there." More often than not, we get told, "I'd love to work with you guys, but I can't because of XYZ that we currently have." They won't allow it. And sometimes that comes from there's a kickback somewhere, or there's a lot of money being made off an account, and so whoever they may be using may not be willing to just up and let somebody step in and do the processing for them. And that's just the business world. That's how it goes. And that's, no hard feelings, no bad blood or anything, but I think we just got to a point where so many people were just saying, "I'd really like to use you guys, but I can't because I'm locked into this, or our current system won't allow it." So with Azalea, it's going to be showing people that, okay, now you can work with us regardless, and you're also going to receive a really fantastic product that's just taking things to the next level. Um, Next generation, I would say, is probably the best way to put it, because so many of the old systems out there are server based, were built in the 90s, or even some back in the 80s, where this has been built on a platform that is meant to just progress. As time goes on, you can access it from a computer, an iPad, your phone, and it's going to work the same, and it's constantly evolving to be the best version of itself. Um, so I would say this year the pipeline is solely Azalea, and we're really excited for it. We've got some really good clubs on board so far. A couple of them are up and live. I've got some more that have committed. I wish I could drop some names right now, but that may be a text message down the road, to just let you know, hey, maybe I've got somewhere for us to meet up and practice so you guys can pass your PAT.
There we go. That'd be
Sounds
awesome.
perfect.
Well, as a repeat guest, you will know some of these next few questions that come up. So maybe you have different stories, or
Ready.
maybe we test your memory and see if they still are the same. What's the story of your most memorable golf shot?
My most memorable golf shot. Um, all right, so I honestly don't know if this is the one that I talked about last time, but I was thinking about it the other day as I saw some pictures of the ever famous Caledonia pop up. Was thinking about it. There's a short par three there at Caledonia, not number 9. That thing's like 50 yards, not that short. Short par three. The green slopes from right to left like a racetrack, from front right to back left. I mean, this thing is at an angle, and there's an old, just beautiful oak tree that hangs over the back left side of the green. And as is um, as is standard for your golf pro that doesn't play a ton, was out there playing and took what I thought was a really good swing, pulled it 30 yards left of the green, felt great. Um, had to go either under the tree or over the tree, and the pin was sitting like kind of back right, so almost on the hill. Um, I was playing with my brother-in-law, one of my best friends as well, and I was like, you know what, we're here for a good time, not a long time. Opened up the 60 degree, took a hack at it,
Oh no.
went up over the tree, landed about a foot behind the pin, trickled backwards right in. And I still
So,
think about that shot because it's just the one in a million, it felt like. So I was reminded of that when I saw the picture of that hole the other day. I was like, man, I can't believe I did that.
I think you're describing number 6 there at Caledonia.
Yeah, yeah, that
Yeah,
sounds right.
that's a great
ju-
hole. Nice shot.
just a regular,
Thank you.
just a regular birdie.
Oh, yeah, routine. It's exactly how I
Routine.
drew it up. 0 putts, really padding the stats there.
Yeah, they just
0
hand out
greens
PGA
too.
cards when you make shots like that.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. Scotty, some would say Scotty Scheffler-esque, except he's too consistent. He would have hit the green.
I was going to say
Yeah.
he wouldn't be behind the tree.
Yeah, no, man, that guy. It's so fun to watch him win, but it's borderline boring golf, but it's so fun. It's like fun and boring. It doesn't make sense.
Well,
I love him.
he, he had a bad day last Thursday, I believe, and made it look like the rest of us. And then I believe he torched the next 3 days in order to almost come back.
Yeah.
If he had shot even par that day, he won the tournament. Just even
Right.
par, that man wins. He's crazy. He's crazy.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
ridiculous. Well,
But he
we
doesn't. He
also
doesn't have his PAT, so maybe that's
That's that's correct. And his
right.
his living, as long as he plays well, he'll be able to pay the bills. Poor guy.
Does
that's
he
true.
have to work on Black Friday?
Not unless there's some exhibition match that didn't
No.
he
Right.
play? No, did he do was it the Thanksgiving or the Black Friday skills
Oh, he
shot thing
did.
last year?
Oh, wait,
See,
was he on that?
see,
Was it
quality
last
of
it was like
life.
Is that the one in
wasn't it him
Vegas?
and
He and like
Rory
Rory
versus
teamed up. Yeah,
yeah, versus Bryson and
Bryson
Brooks,
and
the now
Brooks.
the
Yeah,
live returners, maybe?
Quality of life. That's why.
Exactly.
Yeah,
yeah.
Exactly.
yeah. Who needs it?
And
All right,
if the golf thing doesn't work out for him, I'm sure you guys could find a spot for him at
Yeah,
Golf
we'll
Pro
we'll
that's
we'll
right.
Payments.
bring him on board. I think just the phone call alone. Hey, this is Scotty over at Golf Pro Payments. Really?
Scotty.
Every meeting you'd ever want, as long as it includes a round of golf.
Oh, he would just
Yep.
be sitting right here over my shoulder on these video conferences that we have, and they'd be like, "Is that Scotty?" I'm like, "Yeah, it is. He can't do this for you, but I can. But he's here."
That's awesome.
All right. Well, obviously, another thing that we do is called the Quick Nine. So go back and forth on this. What is the favorite course that you've ever played?
Favorite course that I've ever played. That's going to be Allegheny, up in PA. That place is just man, it is so fun. Um, I can't get over it. I haven't been up there in a couple years. I was talking to my best friend that's up that way. He's in med school right now. So he's pretty much on lockdown for the next forever.
Yeah, he's not playing golf either.
Um, but once he's done there and officially a big bad doctor, I'm gonna get back up that way and play some golf with him. I can't wait.
Nice.
Great.
Med school. I hear that's another thing where you can shoot like a 78 a couple times and get that
Here's
degree
here's
too.
what bothers me about that guy. I love him to death. He is locked into med school. I think he played 2 rounds last year, and I think he broke par both times. He's just one of those
Oh,
golfers that like comes
jeez.
out of the snow. Man, I haven't played. I've been dissecting frogs and eyeballs for a living and shoots 68. And I'm like, man, that's whatever. Nerd.
Frogs and eyeballs. I'm curious what kind of doctor he's going to be.
Ophthalmology, if I had to guess.
Okay. Very nice. All right. So that's your favorite course. What course is now on the bucket list? Maybe you checked off the last one.
Now on the bucket list,
Yeah, that near the top.
after going out there for the PGA, I want to play Quail Hollow so bad. What it just an incredible piece of property. I had never been there. Spent some time there just for the PGA. I think it was on Thursday, first day of the competition, and it was just really really neat. I love the opportunity to get out there and play.
Nice.
Not a bad choice. All right. What is your favorite course that no one knows about?
Favorite course that nobody knows about? Huh. Um, I would say Sage Valley, but I think people know about it. Golly, that is a really good one. Favorite course that nobody knows about. It'll come to me. Give me a second. I feel like it is very under the radar. Ford Field and River Club down in Richmond Hill, Georgia. Used to be Ford Plantation. I know people know about it inside of the golf industry, but so few people have played it that I think it flies under the radar, and that is really special track.
Richmond
Very
Hill.
nice.
Who knew?
hmm Have you guys ever been down there?
No.
No.
Uh, make the trip right outside Savannah. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
Cool. We'll have to do that. All right. Who's in your dream foursome?
Dream foursome. That is going to be. I'm probably going to say my granddad. Never had an opportunity to play golf with him. But he was on my mom's side. He was an avid golfer. Member at the Atlanta Athletic Club. I was a baseball through and through kind of guy until well after he passed. But would love to play with him. Um, I'm going to have to say Tiger because I think new Tiger is just so much fun to be around. Um, I think it'd be a blast. I'd be nervous as all get out, but I would like to do it. And you know what? I think Scotty Scheffler. I mean, he's just he seems like a fun hang.
That'd be a good
He's
group.
not afraid to have fun and talk. During the round, he's not always locked in. I think that's what makes him so special.
How many
That'd be a
strokes
good
do you
group.
think you get between Tiger and Scotty? Like if you're
To
playing match
make
play,
it,
how many holes?
well, they beat like we're done at the turn because we already know the outcome of the 10th hole. Like
No, but I mean, if you're getting strokes, like Robbie and I played match play yesterday, and whenever we play, I usually get 9 holes. I get a stroke on 9 holes.
against Tiger and Scotty, I mean, I'd need a stroke a hole to even make it borderline competitive,
Because
and it's got to
Scotty,
be a course that I know really well.
because Scotty talks about he gambles and plays with buddies of his, and he uses the handicap system
Yeah,
to make it supposedly fair. But I'm
I
guessing
can't.
he's walking away more often with their cash than the other way around.
Oh, absolutely. I can't wait for the ridicule now when people are like, "You think you only need 18 strokes?" And I'm like, I said to even make it borderline competitive, I made a long putt, and that became like a birdie for a par for birdie, and they made par. That's the only reason, just so everybody knows.
Well, we're highly confident that Scotty listens to this.
Oh
Not
yeah.
really. So Scotty, Saturday, Sunday, Monday before Masters, you and Colin have to play a match at Sage Valley. Colin knows that one
Ooh,
well.
see, here's the thing. He won the Junior Invitational there one time, so that dude's really comfortable out there. We got to get him somewhere he's not comfortable.
Orangeburg Country Club. Here we come.
Let's
And
go,
listen,
man.
in case Scotty is listening and your master's rental isn't available, I've got a little tiny house that you're more than welcome to
It's
stay
booked
at.
out, man.
It's not. It's
There you
only
go.
on Tuesday, Wednesday. So
Yeah, he
Perfect.
needs it for the whole time,
that's right.
and he
All
needs somewhere to
right.
hang another green jacket on Sunday evening too.
Yeah.
We've
How's the
got
closet space in the tiny houses?
no. We've got Butler Cabin West. He can come visit us after he's done with his interviews on CBS.
That's fair.
Hey, fun. This is a really, really fun story. I actually had the opportunity this last Masters on Sunday to go to Butler Cabin.
Come
Yeah,
on.
I know this was a crazy crazy event. You know, ran into a member from Sage. We were talking, and he was kind enough to um, show us around in the hospitality suite that he was in. He is with a part of CBS, and was just sitting down. Actually, my wife was with me. We were about to sit down and eat a quick breakfast there. And he was just kind of like snaps his fingers and goes, "Come on, get up, let's go." And I was like, "Oh yeah, our time here's done. We got to go. We're not meant to be here." Because you got the likes of like Matt Ryan walking around, and I think a couple years prior, like Mark Wahlberg. Why not Colin Grant? Just kidding. He's like, "Come on, let's go." I'm like, "Okay." We jump out, we walk out, and he's like, "All right." We round this corner, go under a chain that a cop lifts the chains for, and we're in this little like coat closet area. I look around the corner and my heart is in my stomach after that. And I realize where we're at, and we're in Butler Cabin and sit there in the exact same chairs that they slipped the green jacket on Rory on just a couple hours later. And um that's probably like my number one golf related memory. That was it I mean, you guys could figure this out. I could talk to a wall, but to catch me speechless and shaking has to be pretty significant. And my wife was like, "Are you gonna live?" I was like, "I don't know, maybe. If I die, it's a great place to
It
go."
doesn't matter anymore,
Yeah,
right?
just leave me.
Yeah, exactly.
Leave me
So
here.
that was a really really neat opportunity getting to do that.
Your Sunday Masters experience was a little bit different than mine, but no Butler Cabin.
It
All
was
right,
yeah, that was really cool.
that is a good one. All right, your favorite snack at the turn.
Favorite snack at the turn. Um, Honestly, I'm a huge just a chicken cup of chicken salad guy. Put a little hot sauce on there, kind of make it buffalo-y. Little cup of chicken salad is perfect for me.
Nice. All right. What's your favorite golf course logo?
Favorite golf course logo. Um, Ocean Forest. I think that's just such a sleek logo that again another one that everyone may look at and go, "What is that?" And that's a good one.
All right, what is your favorite pro shop purchase that you've ever made?
Man, I've got like a recency biased one, and I've got one that like I really love. Can I give two quick ones? Is that fine?
You can do both. Yeah,
Cool.
sure.
One is my Oakmont head cover for my 3-wood from the time I was fortunate enough to play Oakmont. It's black leather with the logo in like a stitched white and silver. It looks really sharp and looks good against my all black golf bag. Love that thing. And then the recency biased one is when I was up in Maryland this last year at Caves Valley for the BMW Championship, which funny enough, we do the processing for the BMW Championship, which is why we were able to go up there. But I snagged a Yeti um, from the pro shop there at Caves Valley with the logo etched into it, but it's like the drink shaker. It's not like an actual like drinking Yeti, and it's like the stone finish or something like that. It looks really sharp on the bar.
Nice.
That's cool. All right. What is one thing golfers should do?
And just enjoy the game. I know that sounds so cliche, but honestly, now that I don't play as much as I was like in my time in green grass, when I do get to play, I enjoy it so much more. I never didn't enjoy the game, but now it's like I don't take it for granted. I don't try to fly through the round to get home quick. I really enjoy my time out there and like the opportunity that I have to be playing because I know not everybody ever has that opportunity. So just enjoy it while you're out there, regardless of whether you're playing your local muni or you're playing a Sage Valley or you're playing in a tournament. Just enjoy the game of golf. It's as cliche as it gets, but that's just the truth. Just enjoy it in every aspect because now my little girl, my almost 5-year-old, she's loves to go out to the driving range with me. So it's only a matter of time until I drag her out there and make her miserable. But as long as I enjoy it, that's what matters.
Yeah. It's a game, man. It's supposed to be enjoyed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Last one. Finish this sentence. The best part of golf is.
Relationships. Absolutely. Absolutely relationships.
That's awesome. Well, Colin, this has been a lot of fun. Again, thank you for coming on again to another episode of the Whole Story Podcast. But tell everybody where they can learn more about Golf Pro Payments.
I appreciate the time. Again, like I said, it's not the glitzy, glamorous side. It's not the new driver. It's not the longest ball in the game, but it's an important part of every operation at every golf course and every aspect of it. So that's
Well,
why we
what
do
what
what we
what
do.
you do is just a thing, but it's about you and Andrew and the others that make it, and that's what we love learning more about. So, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I appreciate
Yep.
that. Appreciate the support. You guys are fantastic, and hope to get you out on the course sometime. Start working towards the PAT passing.
Yeah.
Um, I've got a little GPP swag headed y'all's way, so
Heck
maybe
yeah.
don that sometime on the podcast, and
There you go.
that'll be fun.
Very nice. Well, yeah. So golfpropayments.com, correct?
That's right. That's the spot.
Yeah, check it out and learn all about it. If you're a course out there or in the golf space, these guys will take care of you. They are professionals that have been doing it for a long time and now are helping other professionals and courses and businesses do things right on the payment side. So, Colin, thank you again. For Colin and Jonathan, this is Robbie. You guys have been listening to another episode of the Whole Story Podcast.